Ian Lazarin, and this is the show where we hope to provide you with data that you can use to better inform your wagering decisions. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll be previewing some college football games that are scheduled for tomorrow and on Friday. We don't have an NFL game for this Thursday, as the Thursday night game was moved due to some scheduling issues related to the coronavirus. Before we get started, I want to remind you about the promo code CHAN that you can use to get 20% off any BetQL subscription. Go to betql.co to subscribe. We have plans available for weekly options, monthly options, and annual options. You can choose as many sports as you want: one sport, two sports, or all sports. But we are running a promotion right now. Go use the promo code CHAN to get 20% off any BetQL subscription. The first game that we're going to review today is the Coastal Carolina Louisiana Lafayette game, scheduled for tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon, depending on your time zone. The Raging Cajuns are 7.5-point favorites in this game. The over-under is at 58.5 points. On the surface, you would expect the Raging Cajuns to win this game. Louisiana Lafayette has been dominant over the last two seasons. They're 10-3 actually over the last two seasons. However, they've actually struggled in their last two games against Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Louisiana got their season off to a rocking start with a big victory over Iowa State, which is right now one of the favorites probably to win the Big 12. But since then, they've had to eke out two close wins over Georgia State and Georgia Southern, so they haven't really been as dominant as you would expect after a win against a power conference team like Iowa State. Coastal Carolina also started off their season with a victory over a Big 12 team. Their victory, albeit it was against Kansas, the lowly Kansas Jayhawks. But Coastal Carolina has been crushing it the last 2 weeks. Every game in which they've played this season has been a double-digit victory. They were underdogs actually in their last game in one of their games against Arkansas State, but they were able to win outright for their backers. So Coastal Carolina is coming in, I think, with more momentum than Louisiana. I think you're going to see the lines there's already been line movement in the Raging Cajuns direction, which is understandable. They're the ranked team. Both teams are undefeated, but Louisiana is the ranked team. They're the team with the larger record of previous success. So it makes sense that there would be line movement towards the Louisiana side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this line can get to 8. Then I'll probably end up taking the points with Coastal Carolina. I think that they're playing better than Louisiana at this moment. It's a group of 5 game, and one of the lower group of 5 games. These games are always difficult to handicap, and I don't expect this one to be much different. However, Coastal Carolina is playing great right now, and if this number can get to 8, I'll probably end up taking the points with them. If there's movement in the other direction, perhaps I'll be looking at Louisiana. But that game is scheduled for tomorrow evening or tomorrow afternoon. So we do have, I guess technically speaking, we do have college football involving a ranked team tomorrow as well. Now, going ahead to Friday's college football games, again, we don't have an NFL game for this Thursday, but going ahead to this Friday's games, we have a couple good games actually for the Friday slate. Number 14, BYU is favored by 5 points. They'll be traveling to Houston. The over-under for this game is set at 62.5 points. This is going to be a really good game. BYU is off to an incredible start this season. They won their first 3 games by incredible margins against pretty good teams, actually, pretty good college football programs. Louisiana Tech, Navy, Troy. I mean, those are you don't have too many heavy hitters there, but those are all credible programs. And BYU hit 50 points and held their opponents to 10 or less points in those games. So those are all pretty much routes against pretty good teams. Zach Wilson is off to an incredible start this season. He's the BYU QB. Hasn't really performed up to expectations in his career, but he certainly has met them this season. He's thrown for 1,291 yards, so that's almost 300 yards a game, 8 touchdowns and 1 pick. I would expect that to continue against Houston. Houston is a team that has struggled defensively for years. They did have an opening victory over Tulane, but they needed to come back. They gave up 31 points in the game, but that score might be somewhat misleading since some of Tulane's offense came from a pick six that quarterback Clayton Tune threw, and it came from a fumble another score came from a fumble. So, Houston's defense did play well against a relatively strong offense in their opener. I just don't know if they're going to be in a position to stop BYU. It's tough to go from facing an offense like Tulane to a traditional offense like BYU. I think BYU is going to put up a ton of points. I'm going to be laying the points with BYU. I don't think that Houston defense can stop this team. BYU did not have a particularly strong game against UTSA. They failed to cover the spread by around 28 points. They were favored by 35 points in that game, and BYU ended up only winning by a 7-point margin. So they failed to cover by 28 points. This one's a different story. I would fully expect BYU to win this game and cover this number. So I will be laying the points with BYU against the Houston Cougars on Friday. The next Friday game is SMU and Tulane, the 17th ranked SMU Mustangs against the Green Wave. The Mustangs are 6.5-point favorites. The over/under in this game is set at 65 total points. SMU is off to another good start this season. Last season, SMU defeated Tulane easily by 37-20. Tulane is off to an interesting start. They're 2-2, but in their 2 losses, arguably Tulane could be or should be 4-0 right now. In their 2 losses, they blew a 24-0 lead that they held against Navy in the first half. They gave up 27 unanswered points to the midshipmen. They blew a 24-7 first half lead against Houston and ended up losing by a significant margin despite leading by 17 at one point in the first half. They led 24-7 and then they lost the rest of the game 42-7. So they allowed the Cougars to score 42 of the next 49 points in the game. So I wonder in this game if Tulane probably should win this game, but I wonder if there's any value on taking the Green Wave in the first half, given their success in the first half. They were able to scoop against Southern Miss. They also won the first half in that game, though not by as large a margin. I know it sounds like people are going to be pretty sour on Tulane given their collapses in the last 2 games. So I wonder if there's some value on taking the first half with Tulane. The first half in any book should be probably roughly around 4 points. So I wonder if there's value. I don't have a side yet. I'll have an article written about this game that's going to be on the BetQL website. So certainly go check out that article. It's going to be available probably sometime on Friday morning. So before you go make a bet on this game, I'd go read the article. But SMU is off to another great start. Tulane not so much, but that doesn't always matter in these group of 5 games. So we have some good college football games coming up on Thursday and Friday. Not anything major, but that's the preview for the games that we have available. Unfortunately, we don't have a professional game scheduled for this week. The Big Data Show will be back on Friday. We'll be previewing some of the more prominent college football games scheduled for Saturday, as well as some of our picks for the NFL games on Sunday when the NFL season resumes. Until then, like I said, go check out betql.co. Look for my article on the SMU Tulane game. That's going to be coming out this Friday. Until then, you can get access to what the BetQL model says about every college football and professional football game. You can use the promo code CHAN, get 20% off any BetQL subscription. Go to betql.co for more information. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you Friday evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Until then, stay safe and good luck with your bets. Thank you.